All right. Thanks for watching our Thursday First Alert live stream. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon, live in the First Alert Weather Center, and I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I am distracted. Don't laugh at me, Aisha. You are too. We are distracted. So we've been telling you over the past couple weeks about Squawky the Seagull, and not just Mrs. Squawky, but Mr. Squawky, and how they have built a nest on one of the rooftops in downtown Appleton across from the PAC. And they've been working on that nest for weeks. Well, as of this morning, we've got eggs. Let's get you to a live view from the Squawky nest cam. And here we are, and you know what? It doesn't look any different than any other day, right? Because, you know, Mrs. Squawky is sitting on the nest. She's been sitting on the nest on and off. Mr. Squawky has been taking turns as well. They've been bringing sticks and twigs to build the nest. But on occasion, when they take turns sitting on the eggs, they get up and move, and you can actually see the very tops of these brownish gray eggs. Wait, you see it? Do you see? Oh my goodness, we're watching this live. We're watching this live on our live stream. Did you, I hope you didn't blink, because she got up for like maybe 5 seconds and you could see one of the, what we think is 2 eggs that are in the nest. Isn't live television and live streaming extra wonderful? It's a live stream, so we're watching this. And by the way, I have to tell you, you can actually watch what's going on with Squawky and what is probably going to be, there's the egg again. I see 2. Do you see 2, Aisha? You can actually see what's going on if you go to WBAY.com/weather/cams. I'll say it again, WBAY.com/weather/cams. And you can actually see what's going on. Isn't it something? I don't know how long it's going to take before we actually have Squawky Jr. and Squawky Jr. There's going to be 2, at least 2, right? All right, let's move on and talk about the weather. So we're at 43 degrees in Appleton. We are above the freezing mark. We did have some sub-freezing temperatures to the north and west this morning. A frost advisory continues for about another 20 minutes across portions of central Wisconsin. And in the north, we had sub-freezing temperatures, but there wasn't a frost advisory up towards the upper Michigan border because the growing season hasn't officially started there. Right now, we're at 38 degrees in Iron Mountain. We're frost-free in the Fox Valley and over towards the lakeshore. Temperatures are heading up to the 40s. We avoided the frost in the Fox Valley and towards the lakeshore because that north to northeast wind was rather brisk overnight. It didn't allow those temperatures to drop back too much. 46 degrees in Green Bay. North-northeast wind at 13 miles an hour. There's sunshine. If you look closely to the right side of the screen, you might make out a couple stray clouds. Those were a few lake-enhanced clouds, or should I say bay-enhanced clouds, early this morning with that northeast wind coming down the fetch of the bay. So there was a couple spotty clouds this morning. But other than that, we've got tons of sunshine in today's forecast and a cool northeast breeze, a high of 57. Cooler, or should I say colder, temperatures along the Lake Michigan shoreline. So our next weather maker is going to be another bout of some frost tonight into early Friday morning, except this time, this next bout of frost is going to occur farther to the east. That means the Fox Valley. That means towards the Lake Michigan shoreline. All right, let me break it all down. So it's clear. It's sunny across Wisconsin. It's because of high pressure sitting in central Ontario, Canada. And as you probably know, the wind flows clockwise around high pressure in the northern hemisphere, and it's been rather gusty yesterday and last night. Well, as that high pressure system gets closer, that breezy northeast wind is going to slow down, especially as we go into tonight. And as it does, that frosty weather that we had in upper Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and certainly into eastern Canada, that's going to be moving in our direction. So let's go to First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Breezy northeast winds will be continuing over the next several hours. Gusts frequently around and above 20 miles an hour. But then tonight, see how the wind slows down? In fact, the air is going to go calm after midnight. With calm air and clear skies, that's a great recipe for temperatures to go down, down, down into the basement. Lows tonight, low and mid 30s. Now, 43 is an average low temperature for the 8th day, or should I say the 9th day of May, since this would be tomorrow, May 9th. And yeah, that's colder than average for this time of year. You can still get frost in this portion of May. In fact, tomorrow, May 9th, is our average. Just happens to be our average last frost or freeze for the Fox Valley. So it seems like it's occurring pretty much on cue. You can still get frosts and freezes up towards the upper Michigan border into the first week of June. But, you know, you may be looking at this temperature map and saying, oh, well, my low is going to be 36 degrees. I'm not going to get any frost. Not necessarily, because when I show you temperatures, whenever you watch a meteorologist show you temperatures on TV, the temperatures are always taken about 6 or 6.5 feet off the ground. And so in these kind of situations, because cold air is heavy, it's dense, it tends to sink and hug the ground, where that temperature is taken, if it's tomorrow morning 35, 36, 37 degrees, yeah, that's about 6.5 feet off the ground. But right along the ground, where your spring garden might be trying to grow, if you got an early jump on that, it's probably a few degrees colder. It could be right at 32 or even colder than that. And that's why, even though the air temperature looks like it's above the freezing mark, you still get frost, because right at the ground, the surface cools first and faster, and frost can form, even though the air temperature, a handful of feet off the ground, could be a few degrees warmer. So, bottom line, if you're watching this live stream and you have some tender plants, young tender plants that can perish in the cold weather, cover the plants up before you go to bed tonight across eastern Wisconsin and also towards the lakeshore. You're not going to be escaping that frost away from the lake there. If you've got potted plants, you probably should bring them inside. So we've got some scattered frost in the forecast. Now, after the frost fades away and melts away tomorrow morning, temperatures will be on the way up. Your first alert, Super 7-day forecast, more sunshine tomorrow, a high of 71 late in the afternoon. Now, it's going to be dry during the day, but at night, we'll probably see some clouds drifting through the area. A weak front will bring us a tiny chance of a shower around and after midnight, heading into the pre-dawn hours of Saturday morning. I'll tell you, we've been watching this rain chance continue to shrink over the past few days. In fact, I've removed the icon from the 7-day forecast because, it's occurring late at night. It moves out by sunrise Saturday, and this rain chance is no greater than 20%. So most of us will stay dry, and not just dry Friday night, but heading into the weekend, early next week, our rain chances are minimal at best. We'll see a lot of sunshine. Now, Saturday's going to be a little cooler, a high of 68, but on Mother's Day, that's Sunday, we're going to be warming up to 78 in Green Bay with south winds turning breezy in the afternoon, more sunshine. These are the pinpoint predictor high temperatures for Mother's Day, upper 70s in the valley. West of the valley, some low 80s, highs of 77 for Mom in Lakewood, and in Pembine now. It's still that cooler by the lake season, so near the Bay Shore and the Lake Shore, it's going to be not as warm, but highs in the 60s still is rather pleasant. And then early next week, we're looking at highs getting into the lower half of the 80s. And, that all sounds great for those who love summer, but there's an issue. So because of the warm and dry and breezy conditions, fire danger is going to go up, up, up. As of the last report from Wisconsin DNR, we have very high fire danger northwest of the Fox Valley, and the DNR is about to update their map. They usually do it in chunks during the early to mid-morning hours, and so when we get into Action 2 News mid-morning, starting at 9 o'clock, so about 15 minutes from now, we should have a complete map of the fire danger across the state. The thing is that this afternoon, we're going to have dry air. We're going to have that breezy northeast wind that I talked about. And so if you had any plans to do any outdoor burning, just don't. Postpone that until we get some significant precipitation. That would be a good idea. All right, coming up on Action 2 News at noon and at 4, meteorologist Emily Mers is going to have an update on your forecast. I know she's watching that weekend forecast very closely, and she'll give you some more details on that, so please tune in. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go back to that squawky nest cam. See, it's hard to tell, like when she's just sitting there, of what's going on, but underneath her underneath her butt, she's got at least 2 seagull eggs. And you know what? Aisha and I checked. We did some Googling this morning, and that's what the kids call it. They call it Googling. No, do they? I'm sounding like an old man now. Anyway, when we Googled it, a typical seagull in her clutch will lay about 2 to 4 eggs. So she may or may not be done with laying of the eggs. We're not sure. We will first alert you to what's going on with the eggs, because we're just as interested. And really, nature, when you stop and look at it, whether it's seagulls or something else, when you stop and you look at nature and you observe, it really is just fascinating, isn't it? Anyway, hopefully you found this live stream fascinating. I know our buddy Ted Miller down in the newsroom, who helps set these up and sends the push alerts out. I'm sure he found this extremely fascinating. All right, have a great Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, we'll see you then. Have a good one.